Hello, hello, my beautiful beams. I'm so excited to tap in here with you for a little bit. If you are watching this video, it probably means that you purchased my Love Spell Do-It-Yourself photo holder kit. And so what we're going to be doing today is I'm going to be leading you into a meditation to prepare for creating and manifesting. And we're going to be making this cute little love spell jar. And it works in a lot of different ways. It's a great reminder. It symbolizes all the things you need to embody more love in your life. And you can even place a photo or your intentions that we're going to write here in a little bit in the holder. So you could put this on your altar, put it on your bedside, and it will amplify the love that you desire in your life. Bring it in, amplify all of those good things. So thank you so much for purchasing the kit. I'm so blessed to be able to do this work and to be able to share it with you. And so I just wanted to take that moment to just be here with you right now. And just feel the gratitude of the support that I have with these magical creations. So what we're going to do is I'm going to lead you into a simple meditation. All you need to do is make sure that you are free from distractions. Make sure that other electronic devices are moved out of the room. If there's noises or anything, find a quiet, peaceful place where you can get really comfy. You are more than welcome to lay down. But you can also sit and make sure your posture is aligned. Just make sure you're comfortable and you feel aligned. So you don't want anything feeling awkward during this time that we share together. After this meditation, I'm going to walk you through this guide. We're going to talk about the materials that you received, and I'm going to show you how to participate in this ritual, how to make it potent and powerful. So yeah, let's talk for a second real quick about what is a spell jar. So a spell jar is an intentional creation using herbs, crystals, and other natural substances which hold specific energies and symbolize specific intentions that will help aid you in embodying more of something you desire in your life. All of the ingredients I included in this kit are embodying the intentions that create more love in your life. So we have things like a cinnamon stick, which helps spice things up and create more passion. We have some lavender and rosemary, which is really great for devotion and loyalty. And we have rosebuds, which symbolize beauty and purity. So all of these things, there's more, symbolize different aspects of love. Now, when we create these spell jars, I want you to, during this meditation, focus in on what kind of love you truly desire. You do not have to think really hard during this manifestation, but be open to receiving that answer during this meditation is what I'm asking. So whether you focus on self-love, an intimate relationship, a loving friendship, a deeper love connection to your family is up to you, and there's no limit to which kind of love you can manifest from this jar. You could want more love within your family and also crave an intimate relationship. The important thing is getting extremely clear on what that looks like and feels like for you. So we're going to be doing some journaling. So if you want to grab a journal, get comfortable, turn down the lights, maybe light yourself a candle to just activate this moment of being present. And we're going to hop right into this meditation. Now, if you've never meditated before, that is completely fine. You want to make sure that you're either aligned sitting up or laying down. You're more than welcome to lay down. Just get your body comfortable. And what we're going to be doing is focusing on our breath. I invite you to close your eyes during this meditation, or if you do leave them open, find a point that isn't going to shift or change that you can focus on. That could be a flame of a candle, or that could be just a spot on the floor a few inches in front of you. Also, during meditation, your hands are a very powerful tool. If you leave your hands resting open, it means that you are wanting to receive information. If you put your hands down, it means that you're trying to ground into something that you've already received. So I want you to consider those things. Let your body do what it wants to do. The whole point of this ritual is that there isn't any right or wrong way to do this. It's a practice of using your intuition, trusting yourself, so that it can open up and allow for this love or whatever it is that you desire to manifest. Whew. So, before we begin that meditation, I want to say one quick thing, which is this whole kit, this project, was completely inspired by the love that I have recently attracted in my life, that has changed my whole perspective and my mindset, and it is inspired from all of the tiny little actions and the awarenesses that I picked up along the way. So I really feel as though what you're going to put together today is really going to push what it is that you truly desire in your life, because this project manifested from my very own intuitive calling of love. So I hope you enjoy it. Now, grab that journal, grab that pencil, set it somewhere around you, make sure you have your materials, and then go ahead and find that comfy spot. And what I like to do is, before I start a meditation, I might do a little bit of movement just to feel as if everything is ready to just settle in, because we have a lot of energy and sometimes sitting still right off the bat doesn't really work. So I love to do kind of a circular motion, which helps stirs up the energy in your body. I'm going to move the camera over just a little bit, so you are more than welcome to do that. And as I move, I start to pay attention to my breath. So I'll breathe in deeply through my mouth. I'll put my hand on my heart chakra, feeling that inhale, deep, long inhale, and then I'll exhale through my mouth. Sometimes I'll make a noise. It's whatever it is that I'm trying to release in this moment, so that I can settle into this practice, this ritual. So I'm inhaling deeply, feeling that energy, holding it for a moment, and then exhaling through my mouth, emptying out my stomach and holding that empty space. And if you want to put your hand on your heart and a hand on your belly, this will help you recognize that inhale and that exhale and feel into that and get settled. So keep breathing. I'm putting you in charge of this breath. I'm not going to be able to guide you through that as I start this meditation. So I'm gifting this to you. You're going to take care of this baby breath of yours. I want you to focus in on that. This is a great way to also quiet the mind, find some stillness, because thoughts are going to arise during this meditation. You're going to have things come up. What I want you to do when those things come up is tap into your breath. Recognize what it is that's coming up for you, and I want you to acknowledge it. I don't want you to push it away. I don't want you to tell it to be quiet. I want you to be really in tune with it and just say thank you. Thank you for letting me know. And now I release you. And you might have thoughts continually pop up during this time. That is okay. Your mind might not go completely blank like we would like it to. But that is a practice in processing all these thoughts that we deal with on a daily basis. So just trust that. Tap into that breath with me, and I'll start to lead you into this meditation. So as you inhale, go ahead and gently close your eyes. Maybe roll your shoulders back. Feel as though there is a string at the top of your head pulling you into alignment. You start to feel as though you're floating, and as you exhale, let the body sink, let the jaw release. Maybe you scrunch your eyebrows, let them loose to release any tension. Maybe you squeeze your fists and you open your palms, or you squeeze your feet. Just focus on settling in. Letting your eyelids rest peacefully, trusting this moment, knowing that you are fully supported in this energy, in this vibration, in this frequency with me. Knowing that love is surrounding us in this very moment. Continuing to keep track of your breath. And as you start to drift into the darkness, I want you to just sit with that darkness and feel it. Feel the darkness. Maybe start to notice colors coming up for you. Maybe there's some colors, there's some shapes, there's some things floating in front of your eyes. Pay attention to these things. Don't give them too much thought, just pay attention. Start to feel into what these colors and these shapes feel like for you. What does it feel like in your body right now? Do you feel at peace? Do you feel as though this is difficult for you? Just be aware of those feelings, and I want you to sit with them for just a moment. And as you focus in on these colors and these shapes, I want you to start to move them and shift them. See if you can move and shift these colors and change them. See if you can bring them in focus and then out of focus. I want you to notice as you're shifting these shapes and colors, what are you seeing in front of you? What does it look like for you? What does it feel like to move these colors and these shapes and to shift them into other things? Have fun with it, allowing any type of emotion to just be. Maybe it makes you smile, maybe it makes you cry. Just be. Just be. want you to take those shapes and colors, whatever you've shifted them into, and I want you to start to move closer into this shift of colors and shapes. Start to step into it, slowly noticing that the darkness moves away, and now you're just being held by these shapes and colors. Notice how that feels. How does it feel to be surrounded by these shapes and colors, to be able to shift them, to move them? Take a deep breath into that for me. Exhale. Now imagine these colors, these shapes, whatever they're shifting into, they start to become a part of you. Deep inhale into that. What does this look like? Maybe you look at your arms and your legs in this meditation and you notice an armor that is being created. Maybe it's not an armor, maybe it's a beautiful dress, maybe it's an outfit, maybe it's a costume. Whatever it is, it's becoming part of you. I want you to examine it. As you're looking over yourself, I want you to look forward and notice that there is a mirror. Start to look at yourself in this mirror, noticing this outfit or this embodiment of these colors and shapes that surrounds you and has become part of you. I want you to notice every detail. Maybe you can feel it. Maybe you can smell it. Maybe it smells like fresh flowers. Maybe it feels soft, like a rabbit's fur. Or whatever it is, I want you to allow it. Breathe deep into that. And as you exhale, just start to push the mirror back so that not only do you see more of yourself in this outfit, in this embodiment, but you see the darkness surrounding you again. And every time you exhale, that mirror moves farther out into the darkness. But you're still here with this embodiment, this outfit, this suit, this costume, whatever it is for you. I want you to notice how you feel. Then I want you to start to feel the colors and the shapes pull from you. Start to move around you again, but this time in more of a swirling action around you. Unattaching itself from you, but still surrounding and protecting you. And as you watch these colors and shapes start to go back to their form that we met them in. I want you to watch as they fade away. Bringing you back into a darkness. Back into the darkness. I want you to notice how that feels to be in the darkness. Hold that moment just for me for just a moment. Breathing in deeply. And as you exhale, feel yourself grounding back in the room. Maybe you wiggle your fingers and your toes, bringing your hands up, batting your eyelids open. I want you to reach your arms around you, tucking the fingers around you as if you were hugging yourself, because this is what we are doing. And I want you to just give yourself a really nice embrace, holding yourself, squeezing yourself. Maybe you even bring your knees up and you tuck in as tightly as you can, squeezing. Just hold yourself for a moment as you come back into the room. Maybe you nod back and forth and rock your body, remembering yourself as a child being rocked, holding yourself like you were a baby, like when you were a baby and when you were this younger self that still resides in you. When you've had enough of that, you can bring it open, surrendering to universe, God, goddesses, whatever it is that you believe in, stretching really big, and then bringing that energy into your body. Opening it back up and bringing it up and then into your head, to your heart, into this very moment. Now I want you to grab your journal or your paper. You can pause this video if you need to do that. And I'm going to ask you to begin this practice, this ritual. We're going to write. So we're going to do this together. Then I'm going to go step by step through this ritual. And I would like it if you did this ritual on your own without electronics. So you can watch me do this ritual, but then I would like you to do it separately without any electronics. This journaling part we can do together. So if you want to sit here with me, you want to journal, and while I'm doing this ritual, you are more than welcome to take notes, or you're more than welcome to follow along the guide that I provided you. But let's start with the journal. So I want you to start by just writing a few sentences or a list, however you want to put it on paper, about what you experienced during this meditation. It could have nothing to do with love. It could have, maybe it was positive, maybe it was negative. I want you to write it down. I can't tell you what you experienced, but you can inform yourself by writing it down. So I want you to pause this video, and I want you to take 5 minutes to kind of write out what just happened during this meditation for you. Let's go ahead and pause it. I'm going to keep going. And now that you've taken that 5 minutes to write out what we experienced during this meditation, I want you to, underneath that, start by setting your intentions. And on the guide, I told you by writing them down in a journal or saying them out loud. So I encourage you to write them down and say them out loud, but you can choose either or. Now, if you write these intentions down, they become very powerful, and it's a way for you to look back, because we often forget what we want when we get it. So it's always nice to have this written down so that we can look back at before, how we felt, where we were at, so that we can see and be grateful for the things that have happened, because these things are coming into your life. You have the inner strength, the power. So I want you to pause the video, and I want you to, before you pause the video, I want you to set your intentions. Get as specific as you can with what kind of love you are needing and wanting in your life. What does it look like? What does it feel like? Take your time. If you have to go back in this video, please do it. If you are feeling rushed, pause the video. This step is important to take the time to do, so that you can look back and remember what was, so you can see more magic that you possess. This is an empowering ritual, not only a love ritual, but an empowering ritual. So go ahead and pause that if you need to keep writing. And I'm going to keep telling you all about what we're doing here. So, what is a spell jar? A spell jar is an intentional creation using herbs, crystals, and other natural substances to symbolize specific intentions that will aid in you embodying more of something you desire in your life. You do not have to be a witch or believe in witchcraft to make a spell jar. I like to call these manifestation jars, blessing jars, connected to whatever divine being you see. That could be your higher self, it could be a god, a goddess, it could be ancestors, people who have passed away. Whatever it is for you, universe, you choose. Spell jars are put together in a ritualistic way, meaning that you set your space and focus in on the intention of each step. It is best to do this without any distractions like electronics. And so, yeah. Now, before we begin this process, I want you to also know that there is no right or wrong way. I might have already said that, but I'm going to say it again. There is absolutely no right or wrong way to do this. I am suggesting the way that you layer things. You could do it however you want. You could give different meanings to different materials. I've wrote down what meanings I have for these materials. You can come up with your own, okay? So use this as a guide. It does not have to be a thing that has to be done in a certain way for it to work. The whole point is to trust yourself, to believe in yourself, and to practice that. So what you get in this kit is you'll get this cute little heart-shaped glass bottle with a cork, okay? You get a pink intention candle. A pink candle actually is really powerful. It attracts love. And what we're going to do is use this to seal the jar. You're going to get some Himalayan salt. This symbolizes protection. I've got some rosebuds here. These are, like I said, purity, beauty. And this is a little mixture of lavender and rosemary. And then you have all these really special crystals, along with a cinnamon stick and a little chunk of wire. So, I'm going to go through this guide step by step like I typed it out. Like I said, you could do this however you want. But the first thing you're going to do after you set your intentions is you're going to start to examine these materials. I want you to examine them. I want you to open them. I want you to smell them. I want you to pour some of them in your hand. I want you to maybe crunch them up. This lavender and this rosemary, you can crunch it up. Really connect with the materials. If you are not connecting with the materials, then you're not really putting the energy that you need to put in them for them to embody within you. So one of my favorites is the lavender and rosemary mixture. I just kind of squeeze it. And that one is a really good stimulant for your nose and your senses. The crystals I like to rub and hold in my hand and examine. Maybe I notice different shapes of these crystals, and maybe they represent different things. I have descriptions for all the crystals of what they mean, but I really want you to, scratch the cinnamon, smell the cinnamon. What does that feel like? Embody these materials. Take your time. I might be moving faster. You can definitely take more time doing this. You're going to look at them, touch them, smell them. Let your senses indulge in the moment and feel the vibration in taking that moment. Feel into it. Now you can open your jar, and we're going to start by adding the Himalayan salt. So the Himalayan salt acts as a foundation for this jar, okay? So it's a foundation. And now I even like to listen, okay? So I will carefully pour and listen to what that sounds like. And when I pour this salt, I'm imagining this layer of protection, this foundation, this grounding sense of taking care of myself first, my protection layer. When I go about wanting things in my life, I want to make sure that I am first and foremost protected against anything around me that I do not understand or that I feel negative about. So that's what this Himalayan salt represents. It's a pure cleansing salt. You can even smell that. Now, you might smell something, you may not. I don't know. The next thing we're going to add to the jar is rosemary and lavender mixture. And it's going to go on top of the salt. It can mix with the salt. It doesn't matter if this jar gets mumbled jumbled. That's the beauty of it. So I'm really going to embody. Now, the rosemary and lavender represent... the lavender represents purity. Let me make sure I've got that right. No, the lavender buds represent devotion. And the rosemary symbolizes loyalty. These are both things that I feel like embody that love energy. So you're just gonna think about those two things, devotion and loyalty. What does that feel like? Smell that and see how that senses react to that as you say devotion, loyalty, or whatever it is that comes to you that you want to say out loud as you add this. I'm just gonna add that on top. Maybe I shake it up a little bit and get it mixed up in there. Take another sniff. I love this. Okay. The next thing I'm going to add are the rosebuds. These are organic little rosebuds, and like I said, they represent beauty and purity. So beauty is not just physical traits, but beauty is also someone who is confident. So maybe when I'm adding these, I'm not just thinking of this person is beautiful, but they are beautiful because of their radiant light within. So think about that specifically. What does beauty mean to you when it comes to loyalty? What makes someone beautiful to you? And then I'm just gonna drop these rosebuds in there. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? It's already getting full. And then I'm going to drop my cinnamon stick in. Give it another smell again. Really touch it, hold it. And the cinnamon, like I said, it creates this spice, this passion, this drive. So I'm going to put that in there, and I'm going to think about how I want to be driven to create these desires and create these manifestations in my life. I want to feel passionate about what I'm doing when it comes to love, right? Because that's what is love. It's passion. And then you're going to have your little stones you're going to add. Now, crystals are very special to me. They're very important. They mean a lot to me, and I feel like they hold a lot of really good earth vibration energy. So if you want to lay these on your body, you want to play with them, you want to hold them, you want to rub them, I suggest you do all of it before you put them in this jar. Maybe you set them under your pillow before you put them in the jar. Maybe you do your own little ritual with the crystals. But what I want you to do is examine each one. You don't need to read what I wrote about them. You could read this after. But what does each crystal represent to you as you hold it? I have amethyst here. So amethyst is about connecting to my higher self, reaching for that divine being, connecting with that godly sense. So I'm going to drop that one in there. Okay. Doesn't matter how it falls in there. I've got some clear quartz. This one is for protection, for clearing the energy, moving it. You can come up with whatever you want. Maybe you want clarity in your love life or in your love connections. You want more clarity. Then you have rose quartz, which is a pink quartz. So what rose quartz is specifically for self-love, because if we don't have self-love, we cannot love anyone else. So this one is really important to me. I want you to think about that color as well. What does that color make you feel? How do you think about it? You've got red jasper, and red jasper is very grounding. Okay, this has to do with the root chakra. So also your sexual energy, things like that. Connect with that energy, even if it's a relationship with your family and stuff. This could have to do with grounding, home, a sense of self. And then we have, last but not least, the green aventurine, which is the stone for the heart chakra. This also has to deal with nature. How does nature make you feel? This is opening up your heart and allowing things to happen for you. Because sometimes we can be stuck and we can't allow that love to come in. So this stone in particular is how I like to think about that. And as you can see, I've got all my stones in there now. It looks really pretty. And I'm just going to set that to the side for just a moment. And what you'll notice is I gave you a little piece of wire, okay? And this part could be a little tricky. But here's what I want you to do. I want you to trust. Trust what comes out of this part, okay? Let it be. Let yourself create with this part. And what we're trying to do is we're creating a heart, okay? We're trying. And remember, a heart can look however you want it to look. So what I'm going to do is you're going to have this piece of wire, and I'm going to start by making one curve. This is going to be a curve. Actually, I'm going to start on this end because this end's a little more janky. And I'm going to start by making a single curve. This is going to be one side of my heart, okay? See how I've got the wire right now? I'm only making one side of the heart. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to swirl, make a little bit of a twist right here, okay? So that it makes a little loop. And then you can see that looks like that. It's just a loop. That part is going to be the part that helps hold your photo or your words in place. Because what it does is it creates, it creates a thin gap that you can slide something in between. So let me show you. This is the side of the heart. This is the little loop we created. Notice how it will hold something, right? Now, I've got that part. I'm going to pinch it, and I'm going to create the other side of the heart, just like that. Okay? Losing my filter here. So yeah, so then you're just gonna go with that. Now this might look really crazy. It's okay. accept it. Know that love is a little bit crazy, okay? So this can symbolize that for you. Or it could also symbolize your need to be okay with what is. Now with this piece of wire, I made the heart kind of small. So the end wire is sort of long. That's okay, but with this process, because I'm noticing that this cork is a little bit stiffer. So I'm just taking something and I'm kind of sticking it in there just to make room for this wire to go in, because I want the wire to be nice and secure in there. And I'm going to push that in. Now this might take you a minute, and your heart may end up getting a little wonky, but that's okay. Once you get it in there, you're just going to have fun reshaping it however you'd like. And it should look something like this. Now look, this was the first one I did. This is the second one, both two different types of hearts. That's okay. So then I'm going to take the bottle, I'm going to stick the cork into the bottle, like so it's facing front. And now I'm going to begin the process of sealing the jar. We are almost done. So this process, you're going to want a plate or some kind of container to catch the wax. And when you light this candle, I want you to think of that you're lighting your love life up. You're lighting your love light up. You're lighting your intention. So, I'm going to take a lighter. I'm going to be careful. Always use safety. This is not something you want to be just randomly waving around, especially if you have hair like mine. You could catch it on fire. But I'm going to light this candle. Look at that stream of light going up. It's connecting me to that higher source. And I'm going to give it a second just to melt some of the wax, okay? And you'll notice on this one, you see how the wax is melted? It's not the prettiest, perfect situation that's going on. I've got this tray, I'm going to shift it under me so that I don't get candle wax on my rug. And I'm going to start to hold the candle sideways, making sure it doesn't catch on anything, and the wax is going to start to drip. And I'm dripping it around the edge of the cork, on top of the cork. I'm not letting the flame touch the cork because it will burn the cork. But also, if you turn the candle upside down, make sure you're over something, it kind of melts the wax a little bit better, okay? And just be really, I'm talking right now, but what I need to be doing is being really focused on where this wax is dripping. And also thinking about this drip and how it takes a lot of drips to create this seal. And thinking about how that represents the tiny steps that we take towards manifesting more love in our life. Now you'll notice this is starting to drip and get wax all over the side of the bottle, all over my hands. You might want to wear gloves. It does burn a little bit. I just lit my cork on fire. Make sure you don't do that. If you do, just be aware and blow it out. Let it cool off, or maybe dab some water on it. But yeah, take your time with this process and be aware that you don't light the cork on fire, because I just did it again. So I need to, what I want to focus on here is dripping it from away from the actual cork and letting the top just get so full of wax that it kind of drips over the sides and helps create that seal. I might even let that layer dry and add another layer. It's up to you. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to seal the jar perfectly. This jar, you might still be able to open it. That's okay. The idea is the symbolism of what we're doing. Okay? So as you use this candle, you might use it all, you might not use it all. The last step we're going to do once we've created this wax seal is we're going to blow the candle out. And as we blow it out, we're going to say, "And so it is." This is going to seal the intentions, the steps that you've taken in this process, and create that divine connection that's going to be with you for as long as you need, for as long as this bottle serves you. So, and so it is. Okay. Make sure the candle's blowed out. Make sure you maybe get it wet or something just to protect yourself. Always be aware of the element of fire. You could set anything on fire. You always want to be cautious and never leave fire just burning. You might want to wear some gloves if you're very sensitive. But yeah, this is what I wanted to share with you all. Thank you so much. This is my final project. This is the final result. This extra wax, all you need to do is take a dry washcloth and just kind of polish it up, and it will peel right off. And what you can imagine when you're doing that is that you're wiping away the things that don't serve you in love. So feel free to do that. And thank you all for supporting me. I hope this supports you. I love you, and good luck with your manifestation. Let me know if you have any questions. You're more than welcome to reach out. Find me at Worthy Creatives on Instagram for more rituals and for more meditations, because this is what I love to do, and I hope you like it too. Thank you guys.